Welcome students. In this video we will discuss about the expansion of British power, the various doctrines and alliances used by the British Governor Generals to annex the Indian territories. In the last video we have discussed how the Britishers who stepped on the Indian soils as traders took advantage of the political instability and established themselves as a supreme political power. So let's start. First we will see the expansion of British administration under Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley, who was the Governor General of India from 1798 till 1805, in this time span of 7 years, he introduced the subsidiary alliance. This subsidiary arrangement was very advantageous to the Britishers. Under this system, it was a very clever move by the Britishers to take advantage of the rivalries among the Indian rulers. One ruler who was rival with the other ruler in order by the name of giving them protection. The Britishers, they took advantage and they drained the kingdom of both the army as well as the treasury. Let us see how. It was introduced and with some conditions it was implemented. What were the conditions laid by the Britishers for the king who will sign this treaty of subsidiary alliance? So let's have a look. The king or the ruler who will sign the treaty of subsidiary alliance, he would not keep an army of his own. He would not keep an army of his own. Instead, he has to keep a British army, and the maintenance expenses of the army will be borne by the ruler. That is, the Britishers, they will keep their own army, and the rulers, they will not keep any army of their own, and the British army was to be fed by the Indian ruler. In this way, they took advantage and they controlled both the things. The army was under the control of Britishers, and in fact the treasure of the kingdom was drained out by the Britishers. Also, before entering into alliance with another ruler or declaring war against another kingdom, prior permission needs to be taken from the British. The ruler has to take prior permission from the British. A British officer called resident was to be stationed or was to be appointed at the ruler's court, and his demands needs to be fulfilled by the ruler. This clever arrangement of subsidiary alliance, it was very advantageous for the Britishers. They could maintain a large army at the cost of the Indian rulers, and in this way they started controlling the defense and foreign affairs of the protected ally indirectly, and easily they can overthrow the ruler and annex the territories. On the other hand, the Indian ruler who entered into the alliance, he became totally dependent on the British, and he could no longer take independent decisions. The first ruler to enter into alliance was the Nizam of Hyderabad, who signed this alliance in 1798. Then the Nawab of Awadh was forced to sign this treaty in 1801, and Peshwa Bajirao too signed this treaty in 1802. And with the signing of these treaties, the British became the supreme political. During the period of 1805 to 1848, the British saw a wide expansion, a rapid expansion of British power in India, and not only in India but in Southeast Asia. The Britishers, they consolidated their position. How? They defeated Dutch and conquered Java and Sumatra from them. They also occupied Singapore and Sarawak in the Malay Peninsula. These conquests over Singapore and Sarawak in Malay Peninsula established the Britishers as their naval supreme in the region. Also, the kingdoms of Nepal and Burma, they were conquered and their territories were ceded to be the British territories. They annexed Sindh in 1843 and this extended their influence up to river Satluj. Punjab was a very rich and prosperous state. It was ruled by Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who was a friend to the Britishers, but he died in 1839, and after a war of struggle for power started, Maharaja Ranjit Singh's son Maharaja Dalip Singh was ascended to the throne in 1843, but the Britishers, they defeated him in 1849 and they annexed the kingdom of Punjab also. Now we will see how the British power expanded during the rule of Governor General Lord Dalhousie. Lord Dalhousie, he remained Governor General of India for a period of 8 years, that is from 1848 till 1856. After taking over as Governor General in 1848, he started the final stage of annexations. He introduced a policy called the Doctrine of Lapse. What was the clause in this policy? According to this Doctrine of Lapse, whenever the ruler of a kingdom, not any kingdom, those kingdoms who were under British protection, whenever the ruler of a kingdom under British protection, he died without a natural heir, without any son, his territory will not automatically pass to the adopted heir, but it would lapse. That means it will be considered a part of the British Empire or the British Dominion unless the adopted son or adoption has been approved by the Britishers. This was a very smart and clever move by Lord Dalhousie, and he annexed various small kingdoms using this Doctrine of Lapse. Kingdoms like Satara, Nagpur and Jhansi were annexed under the Doctrine of Lapse. Dalhousie, he also annexed kingdoms by the name of misgovernment. He accused the Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, the Nawab of Awadh, and he was accused by Dalhousie of misrule and his reluctance to introduce the reforms suggested by the Britishers. On the grounds of reluctance and misrule, he was accused of misgovernance, and Dalhousie ordered annexation of Awadh in 1856. This is how the Britishers, they brought the entire India under their control. Thank you.